Hey everyone, welcome to Judging for the Win. I'm Dave, and this is my daily ruling. Today's question was suggested by a viewer. Thanks to Flexible Terror for this one. Amy plays a Dusk Charger, while she controls 9 other permanents. She doesn't say anything about the City's Blessing, but continues on with the rest of her turn. During Amy's end step, Nick plays a Lightning Bolt against the Dusk Charger, at which point Amy says that it lives because it's a 5/5. At this point, Nick calls for a judge, and explains that he would not have cast the Lightning Bolt if Amy would have said that she had the City's Blessing. What is the appropriate infraction, penalty, and fix? Okay, so the first thing that I want to do here is take a close look at Ascend's entry in the comprehensive rules. This is going to give us some good information about exactly how this mechanic functions, and that's going to be very important information to know in order to correctly determine what infraction, if any, has been committed here. So taking a look, you might notice something kind of interesting with the wording. And this is why it's so important to always check the comprehensive rules when you're dealing with these older mechanics. I bet a lot of people probably thought at first that this was probably some kind of missed trigger for Amy. However, if you look at the Ascend entry, you'll notice that it does not use the word at, when, or whenever anywhere in its text. That's really important because it means this cannot be a triggered ability. All triggered abilities use one of those 3 words. Now, if we were dealing with a triggered ability like Prowess, we would have a whole body of policy and guidelines that specifically spell out what actions would need to be taken and by what time in order for it to be considered remembered or not. However, all of that is completely irrelevant here because we don't have any triggered ability to deal with. So what is this? Well, it's just a static ability. It's constantly looking out to see how many permanents Amy has, and anytime it detects that she has the requisite number, then Amy is going to get the City's Blessing. This doesn't require any priority passes or use the stack or even require acknowledgement from Amy in order for it to happen. It just automatically does, whether Amy realizes it or not. Now we're ready for the second piece of information we're going to need in order to fully answer this question. And that is the fact that whether a player has the City's Blessing or not is considered status information. Now, even if you've never heard this term before, you're probably at least kind of generally familiar with how status information works. Status information is basically just information that tells about your status in the game. So your life total or the number of poison counters you have, those would also be considered status information. And those are ones that kind of come up a little bit more frequently than the City's Blessing. So the important thing for this question to know is that if you have status information, it is not allowed for you to lie about it, and you're also obligated to communicate anytime your status changes to your opponent. Now, based on the information in the problem statement, Amy did not meet that obligation at the time when her status changed. She didn't say anything about the City's Blessing until the end of turn. Now, that means that Amy did not meet the obligations set forth in the communication policy, and that means that she's committed a communication policy violation. Normally the penalty for this would be a warning. And, as the fix, the judge is allowed to consider a backup to the point before a player acted on information that was communicated erroneously. So for this specific situation, that would mean that Nick would be allowed to take back the casting of the Lightning Bolt, since this game action was clearly influenced by his mistaken belief that Amy did not have the City's Blessing. If Amy would have realized she had the City's Blessing and communicated this to Nick at the appropriate time, we can be pretty sure that Nick would not have cast the Lightning Bolt against the Dusk Charger. And that's all I have for you today. How did you do? Join me again next time for another daily ruling, but until then, I hope you have a great day.